it's Chi-Town, it's Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
Another big change can be coming to the Chicago Bears offensive line. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, make sure you also do me a huge favor by also hitting the like button on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. So as always, Bears fan, we have a little bit of more news in terms of the Chicago Bears roster in regard to the Chicago Bears offensive line. We have had so many different conversations about the Chicago Bears offensive line. And truth be told, going into the 2024 season, the offensive line wasn't considered really the strength of the Chicago Bears offense, but there was a lot of Bears fans and analysts that thought the offensive line would have been better for the Chicago Bears offense this season. They literally returned 4 out of the 5 starters on the offensive line, and it just hasn't been good. As we know, Caleb Williams has been sacked 16 times. He's been pressured on so many different occasions. We all know the weakness right now on the offensive line is on the interior, and it has just been really patchwork for this offensive line. They've been trying to do different mixtures here and there. Now Tevin Jenkins is banged up. Maybe Karan Amagaji will get the opportunity. Coleman Shelton has looked awful as well. But now there seems to be a huge change coming once again. I think the Chicago Bears coaching staff is trying to figure out the perfect 5 that will allow Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense to continue to establish this rhythm. Because when you have an inconsistent offensive line, nothing's going to really be good for Caleb Williams or this Bears offense moving forward. So once again, you're looking at the weakness of the Chicago Bears offensive line so far. The one that we keep looking at is center Coleman Shelton. His play has been very frustrating, to say the least. Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune actually believes a change is coming at the center position. This is what he had to say. One thought is that if the plan is to insert Ryan Bates at center after he returns from injured reserve, my best guess is the Bears will consider that after the bye week. It's possible they don't want a revolving door at the position with rookie quarterback Caleb Williams going from Shelton to Kramer and then to Bates in just a few weeks. Bates was placed on IR after the season opener, so he's on the shelf for at least one more week with the next game in London against the Jaguars. I thought the Bears might wait until week 8 to open the 21-day window for Bates to return to the 53-man roster, as that would come on the heels of the week 7 bye. So first and foremost, Bears fans, he hit it right on the nose. When you're talking about the center position, you want to make sure you're keeping the continuity there because of the fact that you have a young quarterback in Caleb Williams. You don't want to be flip-flopping your center every single week. Once again, he mentioned, going from Coleman Shelton to possibly Doug Kramer, then to Ryan Bates. But here is my personal opinion. When you're looking at a guy like Ryan Bates, to me, he is a slight upgrade over a guy like Coleman Shelton. When you watch Coleman Shelton, he has been absolutely awful for the Chicago Bears offensive line. I think putting in Ryan Bates, you're adding a guy that to me is more bigger. He's more athletic than Coleman Shelton. And I just think he would hold up more better than Coleman Shelton as well. But you do have to consider that you don't want to keep flip-flopping your centers, because that is one of the most important positions on the offensive line. And if you are going to make that switch, you want to make sure that Ryan Bates and Caleb Williams have a strong connection. But here's my thinking about this, Bears fans. I think this would be a positive change for the Chicago Bears offensive line personally. I think they can also consider maybe playing Karan Amagaji as well. I know he is a young rookie, but maybe give him the chance to maybe go out there and get some reps as well. Maybe he can bring something positive to the Chicago Bears offensive line as well. But my thinking about Ryan Bates. They were really high on Ryan Bates for the last couple of years. They finally were able to land him for a 5th-round pick this past offseason. And personally, what I think is prior to his injury, I believe that Ryan Bates was going to be the starting center anyways, but unfortunately, he did go on IR after that week 1 game. So I think now that he's healthy, I think they will start that 21-day window prior to the bye week. Obviously, the Bears have that bye week in week 7 after traveling to London in week 6 to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. He will then get healthy. He can then get comfortable with Caleb Williams over the next couple of weeks. And then I think after the bye week, going into week 8 against the Washington Commanders, I believe that Ryan Bates will be the starting center for the Chicago Bears. I personally think that is the best move moving forward for the Chicago Bears. And once again, I want to really point out my frustrations with Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham, because they're both ex-offensive linemen. They both played the position in college. Obviously, Ryan Poles had a tryout with the Chicago Bears in the National Football League. That means he was good enough to possibly play in the National Football League, but his evaluation of offensive line talent just has not been good. When you look at teams like the Detroit Lions or the Minnesota Vikings within our own division, they invested heavily, not only in round 1, but round 2 in the NFL draft. They're able to develop those guys. But once again, when you look at Ryan Poles, the highest pick that he has picked an offensive lineman is Darnell Wright in round 1. Obviously, Braxton Jones was picked in round 5. And to me, he can be replaced probably as soon as next season as well. And obviously, Tevin Jenkins was a second-round pick, but that was not his pick. That was a pick that Ryan Pace made a couple of years ago. So I think Ryan Poles understands what he needs to do this next offseason. I think at the moment you got to keep doing like this patchwork offensive line until, a top 5 actually clicks for the Chicago Bears offense. It definitely sucks. But in the meantime, this is what's going to have to work. I think a combination of Braxton Jones, if Tevin Jenkins can get healthy, put him at left guard. I think Ryan Bates will be a really good center, probably a little bit better than Coleman Shelton. Of course, I think I'd put Karan Amagaji at right guard, or you could still stick with Pryor there. And obviously, Darnell Wright at right tackle. But something has to work. I think this is a change that needs to be made. I think Ryan Poles needs to take long, hard note going into next offseason, because I think they do need a massive overhaul. I think they do have some pieces on this offensive line that can, continue to develop, like Karan Amagaji, like Darnell Wright, right? There's some guys on the roster. But in terms of like those main positions, like at left guard, center, and probably even left guard at this point, if Tevin Jenkins can't stay healthy, we're going to need a massive overhaul on those pieces as well. But I think this move of inserting Ryan Bates at the center position will go a long way for the Chicago Bears offensive line. I just think adding Ryan Bates to the mix is their best option. Once again, he's bigger than Shelton. He has good strength, and he has also decent athleticism. I think that was the plan all along for the Chicago Bears, is to start Ryan Bates, but obviously he got hurt. He went on IR, but now he's healthy. He's coming back. I think it's perfect that Ryan Bates will be the starting center for the Chicago Bears in no time. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Do you think this is the best move for the Chicago Bears to start Ryan Bates at center? Comment yes or no down below in the comment section. But other than that, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears that you know. But other than that, back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on